Full Gear. Gave you my own predictions, thoughts. Let's get to it. So by the time this podcast will be released, Rampage will be up live tonight if you hear this podcast on Friday, November 18th. If you're hearing this podcast after that, they might release the pre-shows. So I might not have the pre-shows prediction. So let's focus on the meat of the show. And let's talk about match number 1, the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament semifinals. So it will be either Brian Cage versus Lance Archer or Ricky Starks. Now, the Lance Archer versus Ricky Starks match will be going down on Rampage Friday, November 18th. Now, who's going to advance? It's going to be tough to say, but most likely it's going to be Ricky Starks. Give this guy a push one more time, shall we? So, let's see Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks. And whoever will win this match, and I believe, will move to the finals to face Ethan Page on Dynamite November 23rd, which I believe is Winter is Coming, the episode of AEW Dynamite. Could be wrong. But, yes, Ethan Page defeated Bandito this past Wednesday at Dynamite, and he will advance in the tournament. So, Brian Cage versus either Lance Archer or Ricky Starks. My pick would be Ricky Starks. All right. Whoever won against Brian Cage. Again, your personal opinion. Riffs and Body Slams on Twitter. riffsandbodyslams@gmail.com. Whoever will win between both of these men, between Lance Archer and Ricky Starks. If Ricky Starks will face Brian Cage, my personal pick, Ricky Starks. He'll be my pick and will advance to the final against Ethan Page. Hopefully they'll give Ricky Starks the big push and give him the number 1 contender match for the near future. That's going to be my pick. All right. A 3-way match for the AEW TNT champion. The current champion Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. So will he retain the title? Will he walk out the Prudential Center? By the way, where All Elite Wrestling Full Gear will happen in Newark, New Jersey. Prudential Center, Wardlow, the current champion. Samoa Joe, who is the current Ring of Honor television champion. And then Powerhouse Hobbs, who is 0 champions around his waist. So, who's going to win this match? Wardlow has been holding his title for what? How many months now? A couple months, right? So, could Powerhouse Hobbs win the title? Could he win it? Or could Samoa Joe be a double champion? The Ring of Honor and AEW, both television champions. Could it happen? Maybe. It's going to be tough to say. It's going to be tough. 3 massive giant dudes colliding in the ring. Samoa Joe, who's a veteran, who's been in the pro wrestling industry for a long time. That's an advantage for him. He is smart. He faced the best of the best in his days in TNA, Impact Wrestling, and he was in the WWE as well. Now, Powerhouse Hobbs, I'm not sure. I don't know too much about his history, so I can't say if he has the veteran's experience like Samoa Joe. Same thing with Wardlow. Oh, man, it's going to be tough. If one man has to win this match, oh, man, give it to Wardlow. Keep the title around Wardlow's waist. That's going to be my pick. I can't really give you an explanation on why Samoa Joe. He could if you wanted to, but Powerhouse Hobbs, he has potential. He has the looks. Guy looks like $1 million. Guy's jacked. Guy's been getting Powerhouse Hobbs, powerful. I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tough to say, but I'm gonna go for Wardlow. I'm gonna shoot and risk it. Have him retain the title. All right. So the big news that was announced this past Wednesday for the Trios champion. So Death Triangle defeated AR Fox and Top Flight. And they called out the elephant in the room. They've been keeping tabs on these vignettes of the Young Bucks making them return back at full gear. Well, a promo video showed up, and they didn't really challenge them, but the match was set. Death Triangle versus the Elite. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Now, right now, I go on social media right now, and everybody's saying, well, the titles are going back to Elite. Oh, there we go. Well, I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I seen that graphic. Well, they got the titles back. That's it. That's the match. A lot of people are thinking, a lot of fans, pro wrestling fans, are thinking the Elite will walk out as champions as they just got their titles taken away from them since All Out back on September, the first week of September. So 2 months later, I'm going to stick with the Elite because you know that's going to happen. I agree with 100% with all the other fans. Now, question is, now here comes my hypothesis. You know what? I'm going to push it back a little more teaser. I'm going to make you wait till this review is done. But my hypothesis, my theory about the CM Punk situation. Okay, we'll talk about it after all this. It could tie into this match. All right, let's talk about the steel cage match. Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a cage match. Will Christian Cage help out Luchasaurus? Help interfere in the match? Possibly. Well, looking at both men here with the size difference, gotta say, give Jack Perry the win. I'm not sure how he's going to win it. Maybe he'll have some help, but I'm going to go for Jack Perry. I don't know. There's no specific reason why. It just, there's something. There's going to be something Jack Perry that's going to walk out. He's been getting his ass beat by Luchasaurus each and every week. So if there's something up to it, maybe he'll get some kind of help from somebody. Who knows? But I have a good feeling Jack Perry. I could be wrong, but that's going to be my pick. All right, a tag team match. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby Allin. So Jeff Jarrett's going to be squaring off against Sting in the ring in almost 20 years. No, I'm wrong. They faced off in TNA wrestling, so I guess it's getting close, almost 15 years, 10 years now. But it's good to see both men in the ring. The last outlaw, Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, Jay Lethal. Could they overcome a victory over Sting and Darby Allin? I want Sting and Darby to win. Absolutely. But could Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, that combination together, could it happen? Maybe. I'm going to go heel here, folks. I'm going to go for Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal to defeat Sting and Darby Allin. I love both Sting and Darby Allin, but I'm going to go for Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. That's going to be my pick. All right, up next, Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Saraya in a singles match. So, Saraya returning back to the ring in almost, 5 years? Could she have a little bit of ring rust? Obviously, she got to be training, right? Outside of the ring. And, Dr. Britt Baker. Could there be a little bit interference from Rebel and Jamie Hayter? Maybe. But Saraya got her team backed up as well. So give Saraya the win. 5 years. Why not? Do it. That's going to be my pick. All right, up next, Jade Cargill. The current, and yes, current in the contract as an AEW World Champion versus, she claims she is the TBS champion, but she stole it. She's claimed she's going to defend the title, even though it's Jade's title that she stole against Nyla Rose. Jade Cargill, keep it. She has the undefeated streak. Keep it going. That's the reason why. Keep that undefeated streak going. Again, this is not the Undertaker undefeated WrestleMania. Keep the title undefeated on the women's division. Make it special, right? All right, up next, a four-way match for the Ring of Honor World Champion. Chris Jericho, the current champion, versus Bryan Danielson versus Claudio Castagnoli versus Sammy Guevara. Will Chris Jericho walk out as a champion and disrespect the Honor name? Or could a former, at least two former Ring of Honor champion, I believe Claudio was a former champion. I know Danielson is. Or could Sammy Guevara keep the title within the Jericho Appreciation Society? It could be a little twist here if Sammy wins it. Maybe he'll get cocky. Maybe he'll separate from the team and become his own little entity with his girlfriend. Maybe. But either, or Claudio too. I mean, Claudio could be a champion. You know what? Give Danielson the title. Hell with it. That's my pick, Bryan Danielson. The guy's the originator. Guy who was part of the original Ring of Honor crew. Nice little throwback. It's time for Danielson to get the title around his waist. So you know what? That's going to be my pick. All right, up next, a singles match for the interim AEW's World Women's Champion. The current champion, Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter, she's very popular. Fans love her. She gets cheered all the time. I love Toni Storm. She's great as well. You know what? Change it up a little bit. Give Jamie Hayter. Give her the title. Again, she's always been in the shadow of Dr. Britt Baker. Britt Baker's been a champion in the past. She could get all the special good stuff. Give Jamie Hayter something, right? You know what? Give her the Inter title. And hopefully whenever Thunder Rosa gets better, have Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa to co-align the titles together. So, you know what? Give Jamie Hayter the title, shall we? All right, the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. This match is going to be good again. This is going to be a part 3. The Acclaimed, who are the current AEW World Tag Team Champions, versus Swerve and Glory with his Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Keep the titles around the Acclaim. They're hot right now. They're very popular. Yeah, give the Acclaim the title. That's going to be my pick. Have Swerve and Glory get them. I don't know. They might break up from after seeing the distance between both Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Keith Lee loves to cheat and do things behind I'm sorry, not Keith Lee. Swerve like to do cheating. Do things behind Keith Lee's back that he doesn't like. That could lead to some kind of split, maybe. I could be wrong, but maybe it could be a little split in the near future. But keep the Acclaim as the champions. All right, the last match, Jon Moxley versus MJF for the AEW World Champion. Will Jon Moxley walk out and retain the title, or will MJF become the new AEW World Champion? It's tough to say. Very tough to say. I want MJF to become the new world champion. Absolutely, that's going to be my pick. Why? Because he is the best in pro wrestling today. My personal opinion, MJF has everything checked off in the book to be one of the greats in the next 20 years. Hands down. MJF will be my pick. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the CM Punk situation. This whole AEW all-out media scrum altercation stuff. Let's talk about it. Let's get a little bit in details. So, you know what? This concludes Full Gear. Previews and predictions. Okay, now let's do a little separate thing here. As I mentioned, I've been teasing about the CM Punk ideal. So, as I mentioned in the news section of the Body Slam portion of the show, I talked about Tony Khan was asked about, from the press, about CM Punk. He said, I got no comment. Now, you remember when Tony Khan did a press media scrum, which I believe was for All Out, if I'm not mistaken. As somebody asked, can you tell me a little bit more about MJF? Is he gone with the company? What's going on with the status with MJF? Now, you remember when CM Punk was injured the first time, MJF had that massive promo. It was a golden promo, and it was claimed that the executives that were in the arena watching the TBS, the Warner Brother Discovery executives were in the arena, weren't happy with the mouthy language and the promo he cut, and they want him off the TV. That was the rumor. And Tony Khan, he told a media scrum, I believe which was an All Out, he said, no comment on MJF. No comment. Okay? You kind of see where I'm going here? The difference? Now, I could be crazy. I could be. But could this CM Punk altercation rumor, leaving the company, could it be at work? Could it be? Just think about it for a second. Could it be at work? Why do I say that? Now, I remember CM Punk doing an interview. Again, it could be a media scrum. And he said, now let's track it back even more when he first started in the company. When the late, great Brody Lee passed away, he was talking about how impressed he was with AEW keeping the locker room quiet on his illness all the way up to his passing. And CM Punk was impressed on the pro wrestling company as a whole to keep it quiet. Now, let's fast track a little bit more on the timeline. CM Punk loves storytelling. And he mentioned many, many times in his press conference or media interviews. Look it up on YouTube. And he every time he does it, he says he loves storytelling. He doesn't like to give you the ingredients. Like, I can remember what his reference was. Like, I'm here just to make the sausages, but I'm not going to tell you how they're made. And he is very smart. Okay, he is very smart. But because CM Punk, could he again the whole MJF thing? When Punk got injured, that was right around the time when Cody was injured in WWE. Now, I got nothing to do with AEW. But when CM Punk got injured, MJF was written off TV. When CM Punk came back, won the title, MJF came back and made a huge surprise here in Chicago and made his return back. Now, the altercation happened. Punk got injured. And supposedly suspended or possibly going to be fired. Now, the Young Bucks got their titles yanked off. Or the Elite. They got their Trios champions taken away. And they got rid of being Elite. Or at least put on hiatus. Very quiet. Now, all of a sudden, the Young Bucks are making their public appearance at these basketball games here and there now. CM Punk made his on-air appearance for this MMA cage fighting pay-per-view last weekend. So you're kind of putting the pieces together here now. You're trying to figure it out. Okay, what's going on? Because CM Punk is still on the active roster page on the AllEliteWrestling.com website. I looked it up. It's still there. So you're trying to put the pieces together. How they kept the MJF really, really quiet. And they did an excellent job putting the MJF and CM Punk together at All Out. With Punk being injured. The same thing with, you wonder, think they're going to do it again. With this whole injury and his injury from All Out. And just thinking about, with the Bucks being away, could this help them? Could the Bucks be bigger than they were where they were before, since they've been away for almost 2 months? Now, again, it's going to be different when they walk in full gear. Could it be a 50-50, yay or boo? Which would probably be a mixed reaction. But I can't imagine hearing the Bucks' reactions when they show up at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. That's going to be an interesting one. The home of CM Punk, I can't imagine I guarantee you're going to be CM Punk chants in that arena. I won't be surprised. I mean, hell, it happens all the time when WWE comes in town. They chant CM Punk's name. So I wouldn't be surprised if you hear CM Punk chants when they come to Chicago next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Don't be surprised. But, again, all these theories. And Punk is a great storyteller. He is very smart. And he's very, very quiet when it comes to personal stuff. Staying away from social media. And you can look on his social media page. He had pictures behind the scenes where he took some pictures with some of the wrestlers, including the Young Bucks. And you're telling me that there's an altercation? They hate each other? And Punk make his promo feels real. Feels like it's a shoot. Makes him feel like there's real beef behind the scenes. Again, I never met Punk behind the scenes. I can't tell you how he is as a person. I don't know. So it's again putting the pieces here together. Could this be a work? Could this go in effect and go and play at full gear? Could he maybe show up at full gear to interfere the MJF John Moxley match? Maybe cost MJF his title opportunity and continue on the feud with MJF in the near future. Could it happen? Or could he have interfered on the Elite and have the Death Triangles retain the Trios champions? And again, this is only a theory if CM Punk is only a work. Now, I could be totally wrong on all this, and he could be fired. We don't know. We do not know. But just seeing these pieces here and there. But we have to wait and see this Saturday. Again, All Elite Wrestling, full gear, going down on your local pay-per-view provider television, or Bleacher Report Live, or Fight TV, wherever you are around the country or the world. All eyes are on Full Gear. So, well, we'll have to wait and see, because the fallout of Full Gear is going to be at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago the day before Thanksgiving. So, get ready for it, folks. Let me know what your prediction is. Riffs and Body Slams on Twitter, riffsandbodyslams@gmail.com. Let me know what you think about the predictions and what's your predictions as well.